Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're gonna make another very Thai classic dish. It is called Pandan Chicken, or in Thai, Kai Ho by Toey. It is a very savory chicken marinated in a lot of different little sauces and spices, and it's gonna have a really nice dipping sauce to go along with. So as the name implies, there is pandan in it, and pandan is widely used in Southeast Asian cooking. It's used in desserts, like what I did with my Thai coconut pudding. And pandan is used to flavor one of our favorite Thai desserts, Thai sticky rice and mango. And I made videos showing you how to make Thai pandan coconut pudding as well as Thai sticky rice mango. I'll put the link in the description box below. Pandan is widely grown throughout Thailand as well as parts of Southeast Asia. Matter of fact, my sister-in-law has a farm not far from here where she grows a lot of pandan and she sells it all over the country. And as you can see here, my wife Dawn, she picked out some pandan for this dish. Yes, I made my wife do it. I'm a big scaredy cat. I mean, you don't know what's in there. There could be like piranhas, crocodiles, hippopotamus. So don't worry about her. She grew up around there. It's her home turf, so she's all right. So the pandan that she picked out from the farm is going to be the same ones that I'm using here. So pandan has a very light taste, and I'm going to be honest with you. When you're frying this with the chicken, this doesn't really give off much of a flavor to this chicken. You know, to me, it's more about the marinade, and this is just used to hold the chicken and just give it a nice little, package look. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna marinate this chicken. Right here, I have 300 grams of chicken thighs, and I'm just gonna cut the chicken pieces to about like 1 inch to 2 inches. This recipe is gonna make 12 Thai pandan chicken, so make sure you have about 12 leaves. All right, so now for the aromatics that will season and marinate my chicken. Right here, I have 1 coriander root. This is a very classic Thai ingredient. And if you cannot find coriander roots, because I know most Western supermarkets cut these off, just use the top part of the stem, okay? So I'm just gonna give this a rough chop for now. And then right here I have 5 grams of ginger. Just gonna peel the skin off with a spoon first. Okay. Bash it. And just give it a rough chop. And right here, 1 Asian shallot. This is also about 5 grams. And just also give it a rough chop. You don't normally find Thai pandan chicken in food courts. You usually find Thai pandan chicken in like these fine sit-down restaurants. And here's my all-time favorite Thai ingredient. It is Thai garlic. Right here is just about 10 grams. So I'm just going to pop all these aromatics into a mortar and just bash it up. You can also use a food processor if you got one, or you can just use a knife and just bash it around a couple of times. But for me, I love using a mortar and pestle because it really brings out the essential oils and flavors of the ingredients much better. And as you see, I left the skin on the garlic. That's because Thai garlic, the skin is actually edible. It's very thin, so don't worry about it. You can eat it. And if you can't find Thai garlic, of course, just use the usual, garlic that you see in your supermarket. All right, that's enough. You don't need it too fine, just enough so that it looks kind of like salsa. Whoops. Okay, and now time to add this to the chicken. All right, so now on to the seasoning sauces to marinate this chicken. This is a 1/4 cup of coconut milk. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of sort of a secret little ingredient. You don't really find Thai curry powder in Pandan chicken, but I've seen some recipes that do use it, so I'm gonna add it. It's gonna give sort of a little bit of that, you know, something something, which might surprise your friends. 1 teaspoon fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, teaspoon of sesame oil, teaspoon of sugar, a strong dash of ground white pepper. This is about like a 1/4 teaspoon. And finally, just a teaspoon of white sesame seeds. And you know the drill, just mix it up. And just give it a mix for like a couple of minutes. Okay, and now this is mandatory, okay? You should marinate this for a minimum of at least 30 minutes in the refrigerator. Okay, so while the chicken is marinating, let's make this delicious dipping sauce. We start off with a 1/4 cup of water. And this is 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. Don't worry, dark soy sauce is not very salty. It's more slightly sweet if anything. Because we're also gonna add a tablespoon of light soy sauce, which is much saltier. 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil, and 1/2 teaspoon of fish sauce. Okay, so after I fry my chicken, I'm actually going to boil this a little bit just to dissolve the sugar. And in the end, I'm also going to add a couple of dashes of white sesame seeds to finish it off. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes. So let's start wrapping the chicken. Looks a little bit difficult, but trust me, it is not. Very easy to do. Okay, so here's a leaf. Right here, this is the stem end, and this is the pointy end. Shiny side up, flip it down, and 6 inches from the stem, and just bend it together like that until the stem end is on top of the pointy end. Okay, so make sure that, very important, that this end is on top of the pointy end. So this way you have a pocket. It sort of looks like a ribbon, right? And then I'm gonna put in about 2 pieces of the chicken in. Make a little bit more space as you need it. And then I'm gonna take the pointy end and I'm gonna loop it, push it through the pocket. It'll be a lot easier if you have smaller hands. I have sausage-sized fingers and that makes it kind of difficult. Okay, like that. And then you loop it around again and you just push it through, and you just push it through the space that you made. And just tuck it. See? Easier than tying a tie. And just set it down. So I'm just gonna show you one more time. 6 inches from the stem, and just push it up like that until you form a pocket, until a pocket is formed. See? And then you got yourself a ribbon, small hole so that your stuff doesn't fall out. Add about 2 pieces of chicken. If the piece of chicken is too big, just add 1 piece, but if not, then just add 2, okay? Just loop it through the hole, just like that. So you seal in the chicken, right, like that, and then you loop it again, same way, the same way, and just secure it. And just tie, and just tighten both ends so you secure it. See? So no chicken falls out. Okay, so now when you're finished wrapping your chicken, you can always just tidy it up by snipping off the extra pieces. Okay, so now it's time to fry our chicken. How do you know if your oil is hot enough for frying? When you put a chopstick in, when it immediately starts to fizz like that, it means that your oil is at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have 12 pieces of Pandan Wrapped Chicken. I'm gonna split it in 2, so I'm gonna cook 6 pieces at a time. The reason why you don't want to cook all your chicken at one time is because you don't want to drop the temperature too low because you want your chicken to cook properly, which should take about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so now it's time to make the sauce. Just stir your sauce up, pour it into the pot, and make sure you get all that sugar that is settled on the bottom of the bowl. Put it on a low heat, and you're just looking to dissolve the sugar. When it starts to simmer like that, it's ready. Okay. Whoa, really, really hot. Man, it just smells so good. I can smell the coconut milk. I can smell a little bit of a little hit of curry. Hot, hot, hot. It's like a little wrapped Christmas gift of chicken goodiness. Oh, hot, hot. Okay, and now a little bowl for some sauce. I threw in some sesame seeds into the sauce. Like that. Let's open one up. Hot, hot, hot. Oh. Oh, check that out. It's like early Christmas. Oh man, the chicken is like so perfectly cooked. It's juicy and tender. Oh, check that out. See all the juice? Whoa. Into the sauce. Wow. Oh, I know a lot of people, they cook a lot of chicken, but they run out of ideas on what to make. Try this recipe. It's definitely different, and you don't need to travel all the way to Thailand to get this. Some good stuff. Can't stop eating it. But like always, I do deliveries. If you want it, I take Bitcoins and Camels as payment.